Channel 2 investigates the juvenile justice system. Flaws came into focus after two teenagers killed this man, Anthony Brooks. Turns out police had arrested those teens before 17 times. Now, an in-depth look at jailing juveniles and the challenges. These are the last minutes of Anthony Brooks' life. That's him at the register. He's at a gas station in Southwest Atlanta, holding a cell phone and telling anyone who would listen the two boys terrorizing his neighborhood were in the parking lot in a stolen red Dodge Charger. Minutes later, a confrontation with one of the boys spills into the parking lot. A third teen joins in. The brothers fire shots before taking off.
It has been a tremendous loss for our family.
Tawana Brooks is still devastated over her nephew's murder in November 2016.
Just really angry at the judicial system.
Angry after learning about the extensive criminal history of Charlie and Isaac McDaniel. This is them, caught on surveillance cameras sliding or stealing from cars at gas stations.
How two teenage boys could be arrested more than 30 times and continue to be out on the streets committing crimes.
Typically, the reason begins with this piece of paper. It's the Georgia Juvenile Point System, or DAI, the Detention Assessment Instrument. It allows intake officers and judges to assign a score depending on the severity of the crime.
So they get bolder every time they walk into an intake facility, do their information, and be turned around and sent out the door.
That's because they were deemed mentally incompetent, meaning they could not go to a regular center. But Fulton County has no mental health facility to house them.
And so the Fulton County judges had no choice but to keep releasing those brothers.
Judge Stephen Teskey presides over the Clayton County Juvenile Court and helped reform Georgia law to allow judges to detain the mentally incompetent under certain circumstances, like the McDaniel brothers.
So if that happened today, it wouldn't happen.
I do not believe that we should continuously allow someone to be released.
Fulton County District Attorney Paul Howard says the McDaniel brothers put new focus on how they treat teen criminals deemed incompetent or not.
Focus upon those cases where juveniles, they've been arrested for 3 or more times.
But experts say jailing juveniles isn't always the answer.
I was blessed to get second chance.
Judge Teskey gives many of them a way out through his second chance program.
When we take the kids who make us mad and we treat them as if they're scary, we actually turn them into scary kids.
Teskey says gangs recruit at detention centers like this. So many times, once a kid goes in, they become career criminals.
The best training ground for delinquency is in the detention center.
I'm not saying that children should be detained and locked away forever, but I do believe, and I'm a firm believer, that there should be consequences.
Tawana Brooks says these brothers never faced real punishment until they murdered her loved one.
Anthony, our beloved.
They failed our family, they failed the community, and as a result, Anthony's dead.
Governor Nathan Deal put about $20 million in the budget for juvenile reform. The program includes mental health services for teens like the McDaniel brothers, who are now serving a 45-year prison sentence.